How are you all doing? It's 2 o'clock. It's strange to do a live chat at 2 o'clock, but this lovely client of ours, obviously, she's a mother and we have to fit it in with her. So I'm hoping that she will join soon. So the intention of these live chats is to share parent stories. There has been so many stories over the years. I just think they deserve some more attention. So the latest one was, I think it was last week, where Rachel, a mother of two, shared her story of her allergy baby. And I actually spoke to a client from America yesterday, and she was inspired by that story because it's also on YouTube. I add all these videos on YouTube. So you never know. If someone watches this and is inspired and is helped in any way or the other. So that's why we're here. Hi, Danny. Thanks for joining. I think I've spoken to you a few times, haven't I? I hope all is well with your baby now. So whilst we wait for Sophie, I think she's here. She's a mother of two. So we just need to get on with it. And then if there are questions that come through, then we can always... of two, and one is a little baby. I think he's only a few weeks old. Okay, so have we got Sophie here? Hi, Sophie.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for taking time out for this.
It's okay. Thank you for
I
having
know
me.
we don't have much time because your little one, how old is Jude again?
10 weeks.
He's 10 weeks, so you're on a feeding schedule. So we'll just get going. And I just think that your story would hopefully inspire some mother out there, because we're also going to add it to YouTube, and we have an audience from across the world. So you never know if some of what you're going to tell us is going to inspire, help someone else. So Sophie, you're a mother of two gorgeous kids, and I think they both have allergies. Well, we've worked closely with one of them. And you've been managing it so well. But for anyone listening, how did you know that your little girl had an allergy? What sort of signs came out?
I didn't really know what a milk allergy was really in children. It was my health visitor that helped me out with that. But my main problems I had with her was she was just constantly crying all the time. She had loose stools from the day she was born. She was just projectile vomiting. She had like a rash and like puffy eyes. Oh, can't even remember a lot of it now. It seems to be a bit of a while ago. She was just generally so unhappy. She struggled really bad with reflux anyway, but I found the sickness from the milk was a different sort of sick.
Yes.
It was just a lot more aggressive and painful. And she just was such an unhappy baby for such a long time, until obviously we found out what it was and dug right down to the bottom of it.
Yes, and I look back at our notes, because this was last year, wasn't it? And I
Yeah.
look back at our notes, and I remember you changed formula like 3 or 4 times before you were finally put on to an amino acid formula, wasn't it?
Yeah, I changed a shot, and then from that went to Acton Pepti 1, and I found that made her okay for 1 week. I don't know why, but randomly it was okay for a week, and then all of a sudden, second week, massive flare again. So then we changed to the amino acid one, and that was Neocate, and that's done her ever since. Like, she's been brilliant on that one.
Yes. And then we found each other. And what was it that we tried to help you with?
Well, my fear of feeding her, because I don't know why I thought, but I was just convinced that she would just die from any bit of food. Like, I thought she'd get an allergic reaction to any sort of food. And then I don't know where I read this. I was just trying to think of this earlier, but I read where you needed to feed your baby each individual ingredient, not just allergens, but like carrot, peas, etc. So I was thinking, oh my God, I've got to go through every single food. And so until I got to you, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, especially like with milk and everything like that.
Yes, I remember that very well. And also, there is this 3-day rule which some parents think they need to follow. and introduce a food over 3 days, and that is, incorrect advice, really. We do actively want parents to expose their kids to food allergens. But I always say, when you start out weaning, let's get the ball rolling. 2 or 3 weeks, let's just get the feel for weaning, and then let's start introducing allergens.
Yeah.
And I think we started out the first week, we did egg and peanut butter. I don't know if you remember. I look back at the notes.
I can remember how scared I felt. Like, I was just adamant she was going to die. Like, this was actually going to have an anaphylactic reaction and die.
Yes. And that's understandable, because, you are new to the world of allergies. And when you Google allergies, you do hear scary things. And it's always good to be cautious, for sure.
Yeah.
How did you feel when I said introduce? I think the first one was peanut butter and then egg. How did you feel?
Oh my God, I was so scared. I was petrified. I just couldn't even do it. I had to get my mum and my sister round just to come and watch me do it. And then I was watching the clock for like the full hour, the first hour, to make sure like there was no like skin reaction or anything around the mouth or things like that, so she could like be anaphylactic. And luckily it's been fine. She has peanut butter every day now, and she loves it.
Yes. Did you feel reassured that you had access to us via the app, Sophie?
Oh yeah, most definitely. It was nice to know that you're always on the other end of the phone. Like, I can just text and you'll be like reply to me. It's just nice to have someone that just gives you a bit of a helping hand through it and guide you through. Because it's quite scary when obviously you're told like your child has a milk allergy, and it's like now you need to feed them stuff and you get no help from the NHS whatsoever. The only little bit of help I had was a video call with 20 other parents, and that was all they said, was to do the milk ladder, and that was it. They just sent you an email. They told you no other advice.
Right. Yes. I mean, obviously for the individual help and support, and that's quite intensive, I think we do need to perhaps consider private work, because we are really there holding your hand, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we managed to introduce a lot of foods, and then she was settled, and then now we're back again.
Yeah.
And what are we trying to do now?
One, to try and find out why her eczema's so bad, and two, to do milk ladder and soy.
Yes.
Because she always has an allergy to soy.
Yes, and I think she definitely has now. We have a confirmed non-IgE allergy to soya.
Yeah.
She hasn't outgrown that, but we have our consultation on Thursday, so I'll give you a plan of action for that.
Yeah.
But we just need her skin to calm, and we need to go completely soya free, because she's been having a little bit of soya here and there, but now it would be to go completely soya free, and then see if that would help her skin, because that would be the aim before starting the milk ladder.
Yeah.
Is to get her better, isn't it? So what advice would you give a parent who's worried about feeding their allergy baby?
Oh God. One, don't be scared about it. I would just advise them to go to a professional and help, like the dietitian, because without you, I don't think I would have been so petrified. I would never have fed her. Like, my partner was having to do most of it. Like, I couldn't do it. It was just too scary for me. But I feel like maybe just don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
Like, and just do it at your own pace. Like, obviously you do need to try and get most of the allergens in by 1 year, like you said to me, but you don't need to try and shove it all in as quick as you can. And don't be too scared about it all. Like, just go for it and just do it. Like, I was really scared also about the baby-led weaning side of things, like eating, like, and that's a very scary thing. But once you start diving into it, and once you start getting through the allergens and getting through the food, you find that you're off on your way, then you're fine.
Yes. I mean, it is scary feeding a baby, let alone an allergy baby. So
Yeah.
I don't blame you for feeling the way you did, like, here is a human being, and you're solely responsible for them, and they have 2 allergies on top of that. Like, it's just so difficult, isn't it?
You don't know where to stop.
Oh, I think the reception is a bit poor.
I think a phone call just come through, that was why.
Okay.
And is it okay now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, what do you buy them and what do you feed them? And that's a very, like, God, you don't know where to start with that, with like butters and things like that. But once you start looking on the shelves, I find the most helpful thing was, for me, was to just every time I went to eat something myself, just look on the back of the packet. So then I knew whatever I ate, she could eat. So I found out random things that she could eat that I didn't know of. Like, I didn't know Oreos and stuff didn't contain milk, but they contain soya.
Which one? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Do you know, like the Oreo cookies?
Oh, Oreos. Yes.
Yeah, like random things like that, or party rings. Like, I buy them for my stepson. So, you know, there's so many different like kid-friendly things that eventually she didn't really have a lot of at her age now. But as the years go on, if we are still to struggle, then she can still have them.
Yes. No, you've become an allergy specialist, really, with all the food interpretation that you've done. Because now you have a second baby who has also got an allergy. And how do you feel about that?
I feel confident this time around. I feel like I know what I'm doing, and like with the knowledge you gave me, I know where to start. Like before, I didn't know where to start, but now I know what I'm doing, and I feel comfortable in that area. Like I still scary.
The reception is not so...
Let me try and move over here. Let's see if this is any better for you.
Okay.
Is it any better over here?
We can try. I can see there's a question that's come through as well.
Okay.
I think that's more for me, so I'll answer that afterwards, because I know you need to feed Jude soon, don't you? Your little
more
one.
for a couple of minutes if you'd like to. It's
okay, yeah. So this mother says, little one is 12 weeks and is on Neocate, still bad reflux, and stool is forest green. I've been told it's indicated to allergy, but he's on Neocate. So green poo, good news, is perfectly what, Sophie?
Yeah,
normal.
Good.
Normal. For someone on an amino acid formula or extensively hydrolyzed formula, green poo is absolutely normal. They want to move to alpha-amino, but he's on Neocate. So if he's still struggling with reflux, then I would... Can you hear me back? I can hear myself back, but anyway. I would consider some Carabel that you can add. It's a thickener that you could speak to your healthcare professional about. I'm not sure why they're considering alpha-amino. Danny, I think it's Danny who's asking. So, I hope that's helpful.
We suffered really bad with the reflux as well, but they tried to blame... I found this. I don't know if it's a lady or a mum will find the same thing. They tried to blame that when I was saying she was still being sick and things. Oh, it can't be the milk allergy then. That was the most common thing I heard.
Oh, really?
And I was like, but there's all these other factors. Reflux, it doesn't come with them things.
Yeah.
And I still heard it now, like, oh, was it because of the milk? Was it because of the reflux? You're just being sick? And I was like, no. She was sick. She was like a different sort of sick, I found. But once she was on the Neocate, the sick wasn't as projectile and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, your daughter, I think it was pretty clear she had cow's milk allergy from the start, because multiple systems were affected. So reflux, the skin, her bowels, so when you have multiple systems like the skin, your respiratory system, and the gastrointestinal system, then it's very important to think cow's milk allergy. And reflux can be a sign of cow's milk allergy as well. And there are some great guidelines out actually that suggest that we should try a dairy-free diet in a child first if they have reflux. Which is good, because throwing medication at children, obviously it's great, medication can be very helpful, but sometimes what if it could be cow's milk allergy? You never know.
My doctors always said to me that their first route is always reflux, and then it's cow's milk allergy. But I know my local hospital aren't doing Neocate anymore. They're stopping that. I don't know what they're moving on to now, but they said that they're not using Neocate. I don't know if it's because the most expensive one. I'm unsure.
Right. Okay. So I think, in terms of where you've weaned your child who has multiple allergies, you really did introduce lots of different foods very quickly and lots of allergens very quickly. And most important, variety, because variety helps to build a healthy gut. So you did really well there. And you're still doing that, Sophie. So thank you so much for sharing your journey, because I know now it's feeding time, isn't it? You said 1:15.
Yes, around this sort of time, it always is.
I'm really grateful for your time. Thank you so much. I'm just going to log off as well now, because I don't think there are any other questions.
I think the lady has.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I think if you need to go, I don't mind staying on for a couple of more minutes just to answer questions, but I don't want to take up your time because I know you're very busy, and I'm so grateful for you taking out time to speak today.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Well, I'll let you go then, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sophie. Speak
Thank
Thursday.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Okay, so Sophie has left the chat, and I think it's Danny. Yes, I have Carabel, and he's on omeprazole. He's not gaining weight. Okay, tell me I'm overfeeding. NHS, no support for allergy babies. I'll message you, Nishti. Okay, thank you. I mean, yeah, if your child is losing weight or not gaining weight, and it sounds like there's quite a few bits going on for you. So I'm not sure what to say, because it sounds like you definitely need a one-to-one, Danny. You know, this is when it gets a little bit more tricky. So you're more than welcome to message, and do remember that for anyone watching, whether it's here or YouTube, we offer online consultations to people all over the world. It's such a privilege to speak to you all, and the help is immediate, the help is professional, and we're here to really get to the bottom of what's going on for your child. So make sure to reach out on info@nishtischoice.com, and I'll see you all later.